They've had them in the corner a lot. They just haven't been able to get too much out of their pressure. And it's because like a big part of the budget of your character's corner pressure is in that command grab, right? A big part of the budget of your character's corner pressure is in that command grab. You're just not using it. So if it feels like a bit like there's something missing from your offense, and like why can't I open them up? It's because there is something missing from your offense, right? They don't give characters command grabs like for free, essentially, right? Because you have a command grab, other parts of your kit have been toned down. So if you don't use the command grab, you've like suffered the penalty of having a command grab without getting the benefit of having a command grab. All right, folks, we're back. More Grand Blue, more replay reviews. Hello, Luca. Why do you say my name with such urgency? You see my Versuja replay? I don't believe so. I think we're still a little bit. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're going. We're on November 13th. We're about a month behind. Again, the backlog did grow a little bit, but it's fine. We're working through it. We'll get there. We have a Percival replay review. General advice/tips based on the set. What should I improve on? This guy was particularly on the defensive, and I know my mix-ups are non-existent. Interesting. It's been an hour. The title didn't change. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Also, funny enough, we had I also just noticed it was different, and I changed it right before you messaged that. It's very funny. But yeah, let's see. Percival replay review. I'm walking away from the local orphanage. So true. This is 18 minutes. Okay. It's an Anila. Interesting. This guy's got timestamps? Yo, so organized. Goddamn. Game 3, set 2. Okay. Let's see this. As always, real quick before we get started, like the video, come by, hang out on the streams, link in the description, all that good stuff. Hang out, come to the Discord. It's a great place to make some friends. Just be nice or I'll shoot you in the head. Again, link in the description in Minecraft. And also, for the replay reviews, that is, before we get started, l'enregistrement à début. I don't know, I don't speak French, but when you lose your turn, when you get hit. These are great moments to pause and try and figure out what went wrong. If you can't otherwise sort of like put together a bigger picture of what's happening in a replay review, those will usually, if you pause on those moments, you will start to be able to piece together, like, if I'm getting hit all the time doing X or Y or Z, you might be able to put together a pattern of something you're doing incorrectly, right? Also, before we get going, as far as like, this is a weird one, right? As far as, so we talk about like the aggressor and the defender a lot. It's just a quick way to take a quick level 1 look at a matchup and see what you should be aiming for in the grand scheme of things. These are both pretty defensive characters, all told. I probably would say, even with that in mind, that Anila might be trying to like do some funny like 668 stuff, because it's kind of like the only good stuff that she really has on her, right? And Percival is probably still getting significantly more rewards from just like these pokes in the mid-range and stuff. So weirdly enough, I think you probably do want to kind of don't get too far away, but kind of like just hold this mid-range and just poke at Anila, get far edge into gun or far M into gun or something, and then go for your offense from there, right? But I think you yourself should probably be playing pretty defensively in this one. When you get a chance, you can always like I think you honestly just do both better than she does. Like if you want to mix it up, you got some stocks, you like charge in with the plus on block overhead or something and go from there. That also works. Or it's not really an overhead, it's more of like the slam down, right? You can do both better than her, but a defensive bent to the Percy here is probably not a bad thing either. And this Anila is also kind of immediately trying to rush you down here from round start. So in things like this where it's kind of both characters can play defensively, it kind of depends on the player at that point. And the Anila, at least immediately, has been kind of aggressive. Okay. You are minus there, so if that does get blocked, you gotta respect it. I've been trying Anila out recently, and her 214M is pretty good. She seems a lot better than I thought. Interesting. It's not the impression I've gotten from fighting her, but perhaps I need to play her. Why'd you get hit here? What exactly happened? You just got... Okay, yeah, he got countered. This is what I'm talking about, right? Anila's gonna fish for 668 a lot. This gets like kind of the best thing that she's got, really. So you do have to keep an eye out for that often. Oh, okay, nice. You got shimmied. That's tough. Damn, they really threw. Okay, is that? I guess you could. Can you like delay throw that dash from Percy? Like the overhead might fuck you over there sometimes. God damn! Wow. Yeah, they're really being a menace on this Rekka here, right? This little dash, a command dash, I guess, not really a Rekka. Gotta do the light follow up a little bit more often to keep them honest, I suppose. Brick SPDs? Yes, hello, Gab. How's it going? Okay, I mean, I will say, it does feel like you're kind of just getting a little bit outpoked by this Anil. If you can't play the defensive game against them, then maybe it's a good... Oh, yeah, so you're doing... So, I will say immediately, this is like the 4th time that you've done like one of these mashable options. Going good that a whole Paragon run is Soares. Oh, not that good. This is like the 4th time that you've done something mashable out of this command dash, and they've mashed on it, right? You gotta like start doing the light follow-up a little bit more, man. Just like, you know, put the Fear of God in a little bit more. If they're like delay mashing or something, then at least you can like figure that out, but at certain points, like most of the damage you've taken so far has been to them just like mashing on you on your command dash there, right? So cool. Yeah, and a lot of stuff Anila can do, like her sheep as well, right? The fireballs have a very long recovery on them. So like jumping over her sweep or jumping over her fireballs is also a very good idea, right? Went okay, went 7-7. None of the games I lost felt unwinnable, but I had a blast to go in beast mode. Yeah, Soares, he's very strong, I think. He's also incredibly fun, which definitely helps. Okay, I like the throw. Oh, okay, I mean, yeah. That was guess for game right there, and they DP'd, right? There's nothing like that. That's one of those cases. I don't think there's really anything to be too upset about right there, right? They have to guess for game here, strike or throw, right? And they just DP'd. They decided not to guess. That's obviously a guess in and of itself. If you block that, they die. But yeah. That's okay. That's fine. So far, I feel like you need to, there you go. I was gonna say, you need to do less of the the mashable stance follow-ups, right? Once they sit still and are respecting it, then you can go for the other stuff, right? I think a lot of people disrespect Percy's dash kind of like by default. They don't mash on it, but this one definitely is, right? So be aware of this. Boom, boom, boom. Out. Definitely gotta watch your toes as well, right? That 2U is big, but it's very minus. Even from like max range, it's like minus 10 or something. Not punishable probably from max distance, but you can take your turn back very easily. Okay, sure. So now as you've mixed up the lights once there, they're a little bit, they kind of delayed their timing a bit. And you got the hit there, that's good. You're either dead here, right? Yeah. Dead as hell. See, crazy. It's like as soon as your sort of like main gap closing tool is useful again, then sure. Also, yeah, it does seem like this Anila is gonna, like, again, in matchups like this where both characters can play defensively, right? Or maybe sometimes both characters can play offensively too. It kind of comes down to the players, right? The characters are not going to decide how you play. And this Anila, I think, is definitely kind of like out poking you a little bit. So you going to a more offensive tilt here, I think it's fine. Okay, sure. Hit with the Street Fighter 6, up back, or up forward out of the corner. Oh! Ah, okay. Yeah, I will say, like, when you get these back dashes, you gotta be getting reward off these, right? Like, that was great, but yeah, you gotta be, like, hurting her for this. Because it's the kind of thing also, like, if the back dash takes, like, half her health bar, then suddenly she's gonna feel a lot less confident throw teching, right? The conditioning doesn't really work if you don't do any damage. Just, like, representing the option is one thing, but it has to actually have a payoff on it consistently for them to actually fear it and play differently around it, right? And again, them doing funny stuff on your command dash there. Certainly unfortunate. I like it. And the more I see the light fall up, the happier I'm gonna be. Oh, I sure walk back close H. Unfortunate. If they're backing up as far as they are, don't be afraid to use like some of your bigger pokes too, right? Like if they back up all the way over here, where they were literally like, you know, your far M whiffed and like their 2U hit you, right? I guess it maybe looked like it was in range. Even before they backed up, I think that was maybe out of range. Hey, don't be, you can like hit a far H on their S. Why not? Right. Yes, if it like whiffs, there's a lot of recovery, but the chance that that thing whiffs is very, very low when they're that close to you, right? It's a big ass button. Ow, sure. That was definitely, I think that's gotta be a misinput, right? Like the rising JL there from the Anila. I imagine that was probably an intended 6XL that kind of went to right. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I will say you feel a little bit scared, even pressuring this Anila in the corner, right? Like I know Percy is like one of the characters who can like back off and like, you know, kind of poke at people with big buttons in the corner, but that usually mostly is a good idea when you have like a distinct range advantage on your buttons, right? Like if you're fighting an Anila or like a Catalina or something like that, then maybe it's not such a good idea to like try and back off and poke at them, right? So if they're like going to be able to, I mean, you can still do it, but mixing in a little bit more actual in-their-face offense probably not a bad idea, right? Yeah, and again, they're smashing on your command dash every time, man. It's very unfortunate. Okay. Sure, good stuff. I wouldn't do quite as much auto combo as you're doing either, I don't think. It just doesn't really do too much on offense, right? If you're having a hard time cracking them open and you're doing a lot of auto combo, right, those things are definitely related. Like auto combo, it just doesn't really do that much, right? I mean, the low, you can get a hard knockdown off the low if you counter hit, sure. Like most of the time, it just kind of like pushes you back and doesn't really, it gets some screen space. It can get you some screen space sometimes. But you know, more so like 6XL into something, or like plus frames in general into something is gonna get you a lot more opportunities for your opponent to guess wrong, right? To fuck up the RPS. Sure. Could you not have killed them there? Who knows? Ah, good stuff. Yep. I was gonna say, like, good. So we notice every time we're throwing them, they're teching the Aki tech, right? The white tech, which tells us they're using the throw button. They have not really, I don't think they have gotten a red tech yet. Might have missed it. But yeah, so backdash is definitely our anti-throw option. You actually did convert off at that time. That's great. Love to see that. Sure. Got your toes taken there in the staring contest. It sucks, but it is what it is sometimes. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is why I think in reality, on paper, I think you probably should be the one playing the kind of poke back and forth game. Because like this, it is hard for Anila to get this kind of reward off stray pokes unless she has like 50 meter or unless the poke was a 6XH, right? So I think a more defensive Percy is not a bad thing here, but in your case, I think probably the Anila is kind of out neutraling you, right? So being a little bit more aggressive is probably fine. I think. Why do you get hit here exactly? He's got to watch out. You gotta watch your toes, man. Walk low by default, right? It's a couple of times now Anila has walked up and 2L'd you and it's worked. Anila doesn't really have any scary overheads either, if I recall, right? So yeah, this is several, like, walk up 2L is killing you right now. In fact, I think they could have killed you off that, in fact. Sure. Yeah, you mashed on wake up there and got hit. That's not been like a common occurrence though, so I don't think it's anything worth talking about just yet. Okay, maybe you are matching a little bit at this point. I'm not entirely certain. It's like this is what auto combo does, right? Like what exactly does this get you? So you have to use a close L here, close H, that's great, it's a frame trap. But then you continue this, like what is the point of this exactly, right? Like you kind of like push her back, you get her a little closer to the corner, and it kind of stops there, right? Whereas if you had just, you know, close H into maybe some kind of special move or something. And to be fair, the close L, close H is like a commitment that you did and it didn't work. And you can threaten overhead with hop, but if they get predictable with it, it's easy to 2H and blow them up for it. Yeah. The hop is like super reactable, right? Doesn't mean it's fake, it just means that it is pretty reactable. So you definitely want, like, and the lows, the 2Ls are unreactable. So you want to be like down backing by default and then, you know, watch out for the hop. Okay. Interesting. Actually, it was minus after that. That was fine, right? Kind of just like jailed her for a bit there. I like throwing out more of your own fireballs too, right? I feel like most of the time that you've done this, you've seen a lot of success. It's because like your fireballs are like by and large just better than Anila's as well, right? Another reason that I think you probably win in the mid range to long range here. Right? Her fireballs kind of suck and are like way too slow. So yeah, I think like don't be afraid to throw out some more flame carpets, right? Sure. Ow. I like it. I like it. Stagger into the back throw right there. Yeah, they've been doing this on reaction to that a lot. I would be careful doing that when they have 100, right? Like they did it on the overhead twice. I think they're like reacting to the overhead and then matching super. That's pretty good, but at this point, it's something you have to be careful of. Certainly. Nice. Nice, good clip with the far H, man. That's good, that's good. Well done. You don't be afraid to hit far H. That button, that is kind of your button. That is kind of the personal button. I feel like I don't see you hitting that shit as often as I might want, right? Get the cinematic ass finish too. I like it. Problem I have as well, I commit to the auto combo after a frame trap when I should be resetting pressure with a plus special. Yeah. And when you reset pressure with a plus special enough, you can start doing some other fake shit, right? Fake shit's great, but it's got to be fake shit that is like high reward. Auto combo is fake shit that is low reward. Okay, yeah, 668, sure. Yeah, still, even that's not a lot of reward without 50 meter, right? So you definitely are advantaged in the pokes. I mean, I will say also, yeah, you haven't Brave countered very much, have you? It's very interesting. Honestly, neither of you have Brave countered very much. Am I tripping? Have I just like forgotten? It's like neither you or the Sanila have Brave countered very much, which is very odd. It's broken, man. It's broken. Use it a little bit more. I mean, like, in S++, you definitely have the point where, like, you can overuse Brave counter and get punished for it, but, like, Brave counter a bit more, I think. Right there, on that close H, And they can spot dodge that, sure, but, like, why not? Let it rip every now and then. I don't think either of you have Brave countered yet. Yeah, the lows again. You gotta watch your toes, man. Don't just default to stand blocking after you block the first thing, right? There's no reason to do so. Okay, it's an unfortunate amount of chip right there. Nice. See, poking out with the far H. I like it, man. I like it. That's what we talked about earlier. Cool. Yeah, use your plus on block specials. Exactly. Don't be afraid to try and reset pressure. That's a fair point. Obviously, projectile invuln, SSBA could be a problem there. That's fair. Maybe a little bit afraid to reset pressure when they have 100 meter and are below 30% health in this matchup. That's a good point. I did forget that her SSBA is projectile invul like that. Her SBA is going to be pretty worthless on that front, but SSBA, you do have to be a little bit careful of. You know what I don't see enough out of you as well? You have a command grab, man. You did it once at the beginning of the game, and they just like happens to guess DP and go from there. This Anila is being very defensive. You know what the best thing is against people who block way too much? Throws. You know what a way better version of a throw is? A command grab. Especially, Percy's command grab, if you got some stocks up, you can get like a shit ton of damage off it. I mean, worst case, it just, it does, keeping that in mind will make them much more jumpy. And you can get some like actual, you can start trying to beat them up in that way, right? Like catch them jumping, catch them mashing. You'll get a lot more counter hits if you start representing the command grab a little bit more, right? Like you did it in the very first game, but they just happened to guess right and DP. Do strikes lose to command grabs when their active frames collide? Yes, because throws have prio over strikes and command grabs have prio over throws, everything. But, in this game anyway, in Street Fighter 6, it's the other way around. But, usually, if someone blocks something and then you command grab, they probably have like throw invul, post block stun throw invul, which means that even the strike will beat the command grab, but not because it has prio, because like you're currently throw invincible, essentially. Cheap detected, so true. In a neutral situation, command grabs will beat strikes, yes. It's just rare that a neutral situation like that exists. Usually mashing beats command grabs because of post wake up or post block stun throw invul. Okay, sure. Brave counter. Yo, look at that. Yes, command grab is only good in the corner, but it is very good in the corner. I mean, and Phoenix has had this Anila in the corner a lot, man. Oh, God. Yep. They've had them in the corner a lot. They just haven't been able to get too much out of their pressure. And it's because like a big part of the budget of your character's corner pressure is in that command grab, right? A big part of the budget of your character's corner pressure is in that command grab. You're just not using it. So if it feels like there's something missing from your offense, and like why can't I open them up? It's because there is something missing from your offense, right? They don't give characters command grabs like for free, essentially, right? Like because you have a command grab, other parts of your kit have been toned down. So if you don't use the command grab, you've like suffered the penalty of having a command grab without getting the benefit of having a command grab, right? Sora's command grab raw. I mean, yeah, Sora's is it's locked behind a lot, which is why he doesn't really suffer too much for it. We don't lose anything raw. Yeah, it's because he can't just do it, unfortunately. Can you imagine though? Round start. Okay. Yeah, in general, I think jumping against Sanila zoning this actively, right, is a good idea. It'll beat a lot of options. It'll beat her, yeah, riding the sheep. It'll beat her fireball. It'll beat her 2U. Lots of things she's represented a lot, right? Obviously, there's a risk of getting 2H, but like, you gotta get in somehow, man. I mean, honestly, you don't. But again, on paper, you don't. I think the Sanila is a little too scrappy in the neutral for you. I find a lot of Swords players don't use install as much as they should, especially now that it got buffed. It's much easier to go into install a lot more safely than you could before, right? My music? What happened? YouTube died. Okay, we got there. Is that the paused on the perfect freeze frame of Vanilla's eyes right there? Amazing. Yeah, don't be afraid to use your fireballs a lot. It's like basically like only when she has 100 meter and under an SSBA, basically, right? Is when you should be a little bit afraid, but in general, I think, don't be afraid to fireball her ass. The fact that every special gets better too, yeah, and the damage reduction is huge as well. And you get faster. See, so in theory, so this is a great example of what I'm talking about. This right here, like when you 6XL them here when they're in the corner, right? This is guess for game, right? Hey, Brick, I want to play Bubs. He's in terrible. Is he? Bubs is very strong. No, Bubs is totally solid. He's not like, I think Bubs is like right outside of that like top tier discussion. I think he's not there, but Bubs is like super solid. Nothing wrong with him at all. I think the extended invuln can help against command grabs, SBAs. Yeah. Bubs is strong without question. Yeah. No, Bubs is very good. But yeah, so this right here, Phoenix, is supposed to be guess for game, right? Like in theory, you 6XL them here, they have to either, yeah, like they should guess command grab right here. But I feel like you don't even like force them to guess. This should be a guess for game, but it's not because you don't command grab that often, or at all, right? Yo, Miyato, what in the world? Thank you for the raid. Hello. Hope you had a good stream. Hi. Yo, Naoki, also hello. Didn't know she streamed? Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so like this right here is one of the nice things about having a command grab. It's like when someone's low enough on health, your command grab will kill them. And by the way, depending on how many stocks you have for Percy, low enough on health, the command grab will kill them. Can be like 5,000-6,000 health, right? Then suddenly they're guessing for game. That's a huge aspect of pressure and offense and just fear that you just don't have access to because you don't command grab, right? Yeah, let's go, Miata. Hope you're doing well. Out, sure. I'll get the shit beat out of me, that's fine. Happens. Command doesn't reach from 6XL after nerf anymore though, right? Well, it's always, you can't command grab right away anyways, Razzle, because of the throw invuln, so it would be like 6XL into walk up command grab versus 6XL into strike, right? But it's an unreactable gap regardless, right? It's still a guess. Are we reviewing? Yeah, Phoenix, we're reviewing the Percival. What's going on, Yoke? Another Percy, right? But yes, you're right, Razzle. It wouldn't reach, but you couldn't do it. If it did reach, you couldn't do it right away anyways, right? It'll be walk up command grab versus 6XL or versus a strike. Is there guidelines on how to submit for replay review? You put the thing in the Discord channel, and then I get to it eventually. There really are no guidelines. There's no rules. If you are okay with it being made into a video, put content okay in the name. I'll show you the channel in a second here. Start. Like the staggered 6XL as well, right? It's like resetting into more plus frames makes your opponent less likely to want to sit there, makes them want to mash, makes your frame traps much more likely to hit, right? Yeah, of course, yeah. You create a thread in the channel, yes. I'll show you in a sec here when we're done with this. We're almost there. Whoa! Okay. I mean, yeah, but she's gonna let you stock up. I like it, right? You might as well. The 6XH is definitely unfortunate there. Oh, the sheep. Okay, bold match, but it works. You gotta get big. I think as Percy as well, it's very important to get those conversions off the one-hit pokes, right? There's one of the big things that makes this character kind of special. You can get like poke into big damage. If you're missing those hit confirms, I think it's gonna be a little bit. You're gonna find yourself lacking a little, right? Let's see here. I'm kind of curious who wins this. I think it's the last game, right, of the sets. I believe in Phoenix. He's got this. Oh shit. I still believe he's got this. Oh, spot dodge is almost a little late, but it works. You can do that? So you can what? I guess yeah, because the first one missed. It was in between the two hits, right? Yeah. That's very funny. I know using your fave palette, yeah. Like, yeah, the first one missed just barely there, so you hit them in between the first and the second one. How crazy. I mean, I don't blame you for not hit confirming that one. I didn't think that was going to work. I thought you were going to counter hit. Sure. That's a very understandable hit confirm miss. I mean, I will say, you get a lot of hit stop on this counter hit H, even with how weird this is. Again, I think one button hit confirming is a very important. Different characters need to learn different skills, right? And I think one button hit confirming is very important for Percy. Luckily, it's not that hard in this game, because especially on like your bigger buttons, your mediums and your heavies and stuff, you get a lot of hit stop, especially on counter hits, right? So it's not like the hardest thing in the world. I think, like, yeah, this is an important skill to practice as a Percy player, right? And you can like do drills for this, right? You can like set the bot to, you know, block or mash, and then like, you know, see if you can like just do it over and on a random timing, and just see if you can like react to when you get the counter hit. That's gutsy as fuck. I didn't know you could match during an Anila 5U. It's because the first one missed on block. We could not have done that, but the first one whiffed straight up, which was the problem for the Anila. It was just barely too. It was very, very close to not. Nice shimmies, man. Okay, yeah. I knew I should have believed in you. Yeah, I mean, so like, this wasn't horrible, right? But I think we kind of talked about a lot of little things as we went, right? Again, things like, first off, just block low by default, right? Like, you got your toes clipped a lot by this Anila, right? Yeah, for Anila as well, like, jumping is pretty good against her. She has a good 2H, don't get me wrong, but like, her fireball is very bad against jumps. Her riding the sheep is very bad against jumps. Her 2U, which this Anila was using way too often, in my opinion, is very bad against jumps, right? We also talked about how you were doing your command dash, and they were mashing on him a lot, right? They were either like supering or mashing on like if you did command dash into nothing or command dash into overhead, right? So you probably did want to represent a lot more of the quick light, the quick light follow up there, a lot more early on, right? We talked about the one button hit confirming, right? 2H doesn't cover behind her at all, yeah. We talked about one button hit confirming, right? How, like, I think again it's important to know, like, I think we can talk about the one button hit confirming and also the command grabs in one sort of one breath here, right? I think it's a very interesting concept to talk about, and it's the idea of like understanding where your character's design, like power budget is, right? Come with me for a second and assume that every character is relatively balanced, right? Which actually, funny enough, for Grand Blue, luckily is the case. Are some characters too good? Are some characters too weak? Yes, but overall, the game's pretty balanced, right? So if let's assume that, right? Let's move with that assumption forward. With that in mind, right? Okay, every character is balanced differently. They have their power budgets in different things, and when I say their power budget, I mean every character is like designed to be really, really good at like one thing or two things or three things, maybe your character's power budget. So we saw a Belial player way back when for the replay reviews that was only using like 2 moves, right? And I was like, your character's power budget is in the fact he can do everything. But funny enough, if you don't use Belial's like super expansive toolkit, he's not that good actually, right? Like the power budget of Belial is in the fact that he has like 9 different options in every offensive situation, right? But if you only use 2 of them, he's actually quite bad. So even if your character's power budget is that they are balanced and well-rounded, what that implies to you is you have to use every part of the cow. Otherwise, you're gonna be missing out on things, right? For Percy, I think there are 2 big things, 3 big things where your character's power budget is placed in, and I don't think you've used a ton of any of them, to be completely honest, right? This is my understanding of Percy. This is from fighting him, from just like seeing him play, from seeing how he wins, from seeing how he loses, right? The big power spikes in Percy's kit are 3 things. It's U Flame Carpet in the corner, it's the fact he has a command grab, and it is like his big pokes into like really high damage in the mid screen off like 1 hit, right? Far H into gun is like 4,500 damage off like 1 quick little poke, right? He did the one button hit confirming pretty well, right? I think you could work on it a little bit, but I think a lot of them were like understandable. But not a lot of Flame Carpet, some Flame Carpet certainly, but definitely could use a lot more. It is the kind of thing that just like puts people on a clock, right? When you put Flame Carpet on them, it's 4,100, 4,400, 4,800, yeah. So like, it's the kind of thing that puts a clock on them. Certainly, when you Flame Carpet them in the corner, they're just like taking this chip. Like you got 12, you got 12.5% back because they blocked it, right? The whole time they're sitting there and blocking, you're building meter up again, right? You need 4 confirms to kill someone. Yeah. It's a big part of his power, right? So you're building meter up again. It makes people like way less willing to just sit there and just block you, right? Because they're just gonna die to chip eventually from 236U, right? You know what else does that? Makes people not want to sit. So it's a second thought. We'll get to that in a second. What else does that is command grab. If you have a command grab, people are much less willing to just sit there and block. They want to mash, they want to jump. But if you just don't use the command grab, then you don't get that, right? And the whole thing too is most characters in Granblue, all characters in Granblue that I can think of off the top of my head, are designed synergistically, right? You have 2-3-6-U, which makes people not want to sit there, makes them want to mash, get out of there, like not take the chip. You have command grab, which makes people not want to sit there, makes them want to mash, makes them want to jump, makes them want to do whatever, right? And then you have like these like insane like big ass counter hits that one, if you get a counter hit, we talked about it earlier, it makes it easier to hit confirm. You get a counter hit far H, right? You get that like the big hit stop on it, right? Makes it way easier to confirm into your like big ass like one button into special damage, right? Or I mean, God forbid you're in the corner, you just like kill them, right? Percy's a very high damage character, right? So you have to use all those like those main parts of your kit. And the point I wanted to make earlier is that when you use them as well, they all enhance each other too. So again, I feel like it must have felt at some points in the sets like there was something missing. Like why can't I, why is Anila just blocking everything? Why? And when I, sometimes I get the backdash on the throw tech and like it works and I get a punish. Sometimes I don't. But it just feels like you said this guy's like super defensive and he just can't, like what are you supposed to do better? Command grab, man. Command grab and 2-3-6-U, right? Command grab will make Anila much less willing to just sit there, and then suddenly your whole world opens up. Having a command grab is really good. Percy's command grab is not great, but having a command grab, just having an unreactable command grab is huge, man. And you used it one time. The one time you command grab is right here, if I remember correctly, or maybe it's the beginning of the first round. You command grab like once at the very beginning of the game, and they guess you, they DP, and you just never do it ever again. I think it was maybe the ending of the very first round. So the very first round or very first game, I forget. No, very first game, I think. Yeah, right here, right? You get like you get a knockdown somewhere around here. They have to guess for game. Yeah, the command grab can kill them from here straight up, right? You command grab and they DP you. That's fine. That happens. Sometimes people just guess right, but like that doesn't mean you should never command grab ever again. So I think you didn't play this badly. I think this Anila actually was also this Anila is like this is like a 7-year-old or something. The reactions of this Anila were crazy. Like the amount of times they were able to react to you like doing, it kind of started looking like they weren't even doing like a delay mash on it, because like when you hit them with the lights, they did it a lot, right? I agree with a lot of points you made. Percival's my go-to character when I'm playing against a naturally defensive character and player. Yeah, Percy is kind of designed to make you really not want to sit there because he just wins by default with 2-3-6-U, or he command grabs you for like 8,000 damage. It's got the stocks for it, right? So, using what your character is built to do, right? Like, so I know it's gonna sound dumb. It's gonna sound dumb. And I'm exaggerating. You did not do anything this bad, Phoenix. But like, imagine if I played Ladiva and I never command grabbed, right? And I'm like, why can't I open people up? This sucks. This character must be bottom 1, right? Now, of course, Ladiva's command grab is obviously much more important to her kits than Percival's is to his. But like, man, like it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same idea. You're playing a character with a command grab, who again, their power budget is placed heavily into the command grab. It got even better after the Versucha patch, and you're just like not command grabbing. And you're not even 2-3-6-Uing that much. It's that they're not even 2-3-6-Uing that much. That's the like, I'm playing Ladiva and I don't command grab, right? 2-3-6-U is like the best move Percival has, and like one of the best moves in the game, right? So yeah, that's the general. Again, you get the points, right? But like understanding what your character is meant to do, and going from there, right? Pre-patch Ladiva was honestly kind of like that. No, the command grab was still very important for her, because the command grab was what made it so you just didn't. So if Ladiva got a lot more reward off her strike compared to command grab pre-patch, but you could just down back everything she did if she didn't command grab, right? The command grab was lower reward, but it was the reason that any of the strikes hit. Even pre-patch Ladiva, the command grab was obviously the most important thing about her, right? The reason that anyone ever got hit by one of Ladiva's very high damaging strike combos was because of the threat of command grab. Right? But yeah. I hope that helps, Phoenix. I don't think you played poorly at all. I think this is like very much a more like not like higher level in both meanings, like higher level in terms of like it's just more zoomed out, it's more of a general concept, and also higher level in terms of like this is where you can really start to like have a deeper understanding of what exactly your character does, right? Alright, wasn't early enough and missed my review. It's okay. The video will come out in like a week and a half, and then you can watch it. But yeah, honestly, we took kind of a while on that, and the backlog's not that bad. I think we're gonna call it there. We're gonna call it there because I want to play some Ladiva and some Eustace before I have to go at 8. So yeah. Hope that was useful. Phoenix, anyone else who was watching too, plays Percival. Like, even if you don't play Percival, this concept is applicable to everyone, right? Figure out where is the power budget of your character allocated, and play to that. Don't play around that, right? If your character is clearly designed to be good at this, then do a lot more of that. Don't like if you're leaving out whole parts of your toolkit that are probably very important to your power budget, you're gonna lose more often than you're gonna win, or at least you're gonna lose more often than you otherwise would. But yeah, that is gonna do it for this video. We'll play some a little bit more Ladiva, I think, real quick. But first, for the VOD watchers, hello, hi VOD watchers. Hope you had a good time with the video. If you did, any kind of like, subscribes, comments, bells always helps out. I also stream every day from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, except Friday, so come by and hang out. Link in the description down there. Also, if you want to post a replay of your own, there's this, this is the server right here. You can join this, link in the description down there. The GBVSR replay review channel. Just literally make a thread, post whatever recording you have, whether it's like an in-game recording or a YouTube video or whatever, and I'll get to it, hopefully, in relatively soon. In relatively short order, I suppose. And even if I don't, as you can see, for example, lots of people giving lots of very good advice to Phoenix here as well. Great community. If you do join, though, be nice. We're also shooting the head in Minecraft. Most importantly, hope you had a great time hanging out today, as always. I know I sure did. Having a lot of fun with Granblue. Going to be a lot more coming your way. And until then, I will see you in the next one. Peace.